A defense operation is an operation to defeat an enemy attack, gain some time, or economize your forces, and then develop the conditions to transition to offensive operations or stability operations. FM 390, offense and defense, obviously goes further into this, but just like in a previous Doctrine Digest, where we discussed the types of offensive operations, today we'll talk about the types of defensive operations. First, I'm going to leave you with something. Do you know what these acronyms mean, the MBA or the FLOT? And what do they mean, and can you explain or tie them to defensive operations? I'll leave you to it. So back to the types of defensive operations. First, we have the area defense. This concentrates on denying enemy forces access to designated terrain for a specific time rather than destroying the enemy outright. And those are the key points. Deny the enemy from designated terrain for a specific time. So if you get a task to conduct an area defense, it should specify that in the order: designated terrain or specific time. Now, there are variations of the area defense that I'll let you go to FN 3-90 to find. So company commanders, for training purposes, you're probably going to want to hit topics like engagement area development or how to conduct a counterattack. Second, we have the mobile defense. This defensive operation is one that concentrates on destroying or defeating the enemy through a decisive attack by a striking force. This is usually executed by a division or higher, but there are several elements and concepts to a mobile defense. First, you have a striking force, which is obviously what it sounds like: bulk of combat power, your knockout punch. And then you have your fixing force. Remember, in area defense, you are defending designated terrain for a specific time, but in a mobile defense, the fixing force is preventing the enemy from moving from a specific place for a specific time. Third, you have retrograde. A retrograde is a defensive operation involving organized movement away from the enemy. And the three variations of a retrograde are a delay, a withdrawal, and retirement. Now, an enemy force can create the conditions to retrograde, or a unit can do this voluntarily. In either case, the higher echelon headquarters executing the retrograde must approve the operation before its initiation. And remember, the decision point matrix will probably have something about the conditions for a retrograde, so keep your eye on that. Maybe you can anticipate that it's coming. It's part of a larger maneuver scheme designed to preserve combat power in order to regain the initiative in future operations. Okay, so there you have the defensive tasks or types of defensive operations. And for more on the subject of defensive tasks or types of operations, open up FM 3-90. And you can download your doctrine from armypubs.army.mil.